What did they want me there for? Obviously not realising that they was trying to see if I was like a good fit for the brand. Yeah. And my manager came through and was like, PLT want you to be an ambassador. And I was like,
oh my God.
And I was like, Mum, pick me up. I'm not staying in. I'm going home. She was like, you're not going home. I was like, Mum, please let me go home. I was like, I need to go celebrate.
We are really good at kind of scouting up and coming talent. So yes, we do work with model agencies, but at the same time, we do a lot of open castings. We do a lot of scouring Instagram.
Kourtney Kardashian?
Yes. Uma and I actually went to Kris Jenner's house to have that meeting.
You had a meeting with
Kris, yeah. And you know the office that's on the show where she sit, it's that, where there's pictures of the girls like on the walls.
Hey guys, welcome to my podcast, Ami Charlize's Private Story with me, Ami Charlize. I'm so excited to have a place where I can share more about my life than ever before, spill some tea with you guys, and also take you along on this crazy ride that is my life. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a 16-year-old content creator with a passion for all things beauty, fashion, and each week I'm going to be talking about everything from life as a teenager to friendships, relationships, social media, and so much more. And I'm going to be joined by some amazing guests from social media stars to celebrities and even my own family to share their own private story. And I want you guys to get as involved as you can because honestly, I love hearing from you. So get in touch now with your latest stories, dilemmas, and questions for us to work through together in this judgment-free zone. So welcome to my private story. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ami Charlize's Private Story with me, Ami Charlize. So for today's ep, I've actually got something a little bit different for you guys, but I just know you're going to love it because the amount of questions I get all the time about how to work with big companies, what these big companies do, what I do with them, and I've now actually got the Chief Marketing Officer, Nicki Capstick from PLT. How are you?
I'm good. How
are
you?
I'm so good, thank you. How has it been? Because obviously you're from Manchester and you come down this morning.
It's fine. It's an easy journey. And I feel like I'm at home anyway in this pink set.
I literally was saying when she walked through, I was like, this is PLT, this is PLT. If you're watching, you can see in the background, it's all Prettylittlething. Even my teddy bear that sits with me every single time.
It literally feels like I'm at home.
She's back at home. She's back at the PLT HQ, basically. But how's everything been recently with Prettylittlething?
Busy, always chaotic. I don't feel like we ever have a normal day, but it's good. Keeps it interesting.
It definitely does. I feel like when I go in, sometimes I'm like, they're so lastminute.com. I don't know how your head doesn't get screwed up sometimes.
We try and be a little bit more planned out each year, but it just doesn't happen. No. I feel like everything's just changing constantly.
Literally. So I know recently there's been obviously the princess. She's just had a little photo shoot, and then Molly May's edit, which is insane. I feel like that's very Molly May.
Yes.
When she come out of it, I was like, I love this. Yeah. So obviously, for people that don't know what your job is, can you just give them a little bit of detailing?
Yeah.
Just in case they don't really know.
Yeah. So I am Chief Marketing Officer, which is quite a new position. I was promoted back in the summer. So I've been with the business for a long time, kind of grown up pretty much over the last 9 years there. Started as marketing manager when the company was super small, doing a little bit of everything.
Can you tell them how many people? Because this really shocked me.
So there was 3 of us in marketing, maybe 15 in the whole business at the time. I think there's 450 now in HQ. So it's come a long way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did a little bit of everything. Didn't really know an awful lot back then. I've kind of come on a long journey and been promoted along the way. I think very fortunate that Uma, our former CEO, was always keen to kind of invest in the people that have stayed with him. And yeah, now I oversee a team. I think there's 85 in marketing and then probably another 50 in creative. So,
and can I say, I've worked with like a lot of different companies, but PLT is my favourite. Like you have brought the best team ever. Every time I go in, I'm just like back at home. I love like Sissy, Drew.
Yeah, they're the best.
Lucy, they're all my faves. And honestly, every time I go in, have we ever met? I don't think we have.
I don't think we've ever met. I feel like I know you because I see your face constantly, but I don't think I've ever actually.
I've always followed Nicki, but we've actually never met, which is crazy. But let's go on to a few questions that I actually wanted to ask you personally. So obviously you've been at PLT for how long? Is it 9
years? Yeah.
9 years now, and you started off when there was only about 15 of you. Yeah. So how did you actually get into doing that?
So I worked at a competitor previously, which my role wasn't really going anywhere. I'd got a bit of experience across different areas of marketing, so quite fortunate that I think in a lot of businesses that are big, you end up working in one really niche area. I was quite fortunate because it was quite a small company. I got a little bit of experience across different areas of marketing.
Yeah.
And a few people had moved from this brand over to PLT, and Uma, who was the founder and CEO at the time, just used to message me on LinkedIn all the time and be like, come and meet me for a coffee. I've got a really good opportunity for you. I think you could be really good for this business. And I was always like, no, I'm kind of happy. I'm doing what I'm doing. And then one day I thought, you know what, let's just give it a go. So yeah, I met up with him, and I honestly didn't know how to take him at first. He was a bit crazy. He's mellowed a lot, and he won't mind me saying that. I'd say it to him. He's mellowed a lot in his older years, but at the time he was a little bit mental.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, I spoke to a few of the other team that were there, and they were like, no, this brand's going somewhere. Like, you should really give it a shot. So I did.
And you did, and look at where it is now.
Yeah, and now we're here, and it's been 9 years, and I can't actually believe it's been that long.
Honestly. And I just feel like there's been, obviously, I literally started working. I remember the first ever brand that reached out. Is so weird. But when I was younger, I always used to be like, when I'm 11, Mum, will you let me wear PLT? She used to be like, yeah, you can have a jumper when you're 11. But my sisters used to get this like pink unicorn bag, and I'd be like, I want that bag. So I used to be like, okay, I'll just buy some skincare for this age. So she used to buy me like little, like the like Carmex balms, whatever. And then I remember Prettylittlething reached out to me, and they followed me when I hit 100K. No one else had worked with me at this point, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
And how old you were 13?
12.
Oh, you're 12?
I was 12. And then they reached out and was like, hey, Ami, we want to gift you like a box of things. I cried my eyes out. I ran down the stairs. I was like, Robin, Georgia, my sisters. I was like, ha, lol. I was like, look at me go. I had like, literally, as soon as I turned 12, I had like this jumper come through. And then I remember like just more and more came through with them, and I was like, oh my God, that was like my dream come true. Like working with Prettylittlething was like, I feel like everyone always says that's kind of that is like the big milestone in my opinion. And I just remember so well, I was just sobbing to my mum. And then I think you guys reached out and actually said something like, can we get a discount code of you? And I must have had like 500K. And I remember Sissy texting me privately and saying, you're doing so well for it. And I was like, yes. I was like, do you think I'll be an ambassador one day, Mum? She was like, maybe when you're 18. She always gives me ages. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And then I remember last year when I got invited to the Manchester HQ, and I was like, that's weird. Because no one had really been. I'd only ever watched like Molly do her shoots there. And I used to be like, okay, well, this is different. I remember I walked in, and then I had to go live for them, and they was like sending it on group chats, and I could see the group chats all messaging. And I was like, this is weird.
This is a big
deal. And I was like, oh my God. And the live did really well. And then I was like, but what was this purpose? Like, what did they want me there for? Obviously not realising that they was trying to see if I was like a good fit for the brand. Yeah. And then next week I was in school. I was in science. I was not meant to go on my phone, but obviously it was me. So I remember I was sitting like under the bench, and my manager came through and was like, PLT want you to be an ambassador. And I was like,
oh my God.
And I was like, Mum, pick me up. I'm not staying in. I'm going home. She was like, you're not going home. I was like, Mum, please let me go home. I was like, I need to go celebrate. And I remember we had like cannons, confetti cannons. It was so cute. And that's obviously how I started. And now, I think it was about 8 days ago or whatever, my actual edit came out. Obviously, we're filming this but my edit would have just launched, which is crazy to me because honestly, from the get-go, I'd never thought in a million years I'd even get an ambassadorship, let alone an edit and all of this. But obviously, for you guys, you have to pick these ambassadors, and you're very, very specific. Like, there's not many. I mean, how many is there at the moment? Do you know off the top of your head?
Maybe like 4 in the UK and another 4 in the US.
There's not many.
We are looking at a few other options for kind of the year ahead as well.
Definitely. So how do you guys kind of like navigating like who you want as ambassador? Because it must be really hard.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, now we listen to the younger team members because I'm not involved enough in TikTok and Instagram on a day-to-day basis to know who we should be working with. And we're targeting a 16 to 24-year-old girl. So it's so important that we let the people within the business that are in that age group have a voice and make those suggestions. So in all honesty, Amy, who's our head of PR, we listen.
Which we love, Amy. I literally love Amy.
We listen to the talent, in the business. We listen via focus groups, we do surveys, listen to the customer, they kind of pitching their ideas. The girls are constantly scouring social media and looking for up and coming talent as well. And I think with someone like you, we always saw that authenticity, that engagement that you have with your followers. Yeah. And therefore, we felt like that was a good fit for our brand and where we wanted to go with the direction. So yeah, I think it's definitely just getting suggestions from other people. Obviously, we'll have wider discussions as a team as to who fits with our direction, where we want to go as a next step. But it's definitely kind of listening to the people that are the customer, basically.
Definitely. So for people that kind of want to get in with Prettylittlething, this might not be on ambassador side, but just to like work with them, have you got any kind of tips for what you guys look out for if it's authenticity?
Yeah.
I think definitely organic.
Organic,
I could say that for anyone.
Yeah.
Like I think the amount of companies that I've kind of organically posted for and then all of a sudden I've been able to work with them, I think that's definitely a big thing. But is there anything else you guys...
I think someone who loves and wears the brand organically is really important, because we want to work with people who are selling that organic message to their followers. So if it was someone that wasn't interested in, you know, a trend-led fashion brand, then it wouldn't make sense for us. So yeah, having that kind of natural and organic relationship first feels really important to us.
Yeah. I also get a lot of questions about people kind of wanting to be on the business side of Prettylittlething.
Yeah.
I know there was a few girls a few months ago actually went in with my manager and we went to the London HQ.
Okay.
Or London showrooms even, and there was a lot of younger girls that was doing like work experiences, which I think is actually really nice, because if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, I would have been trying so hard to get in that work experience. So for you guys, like on the business side of things, and I think work experience, but also how to get in as working for Prettylittlething. Obviously, this is kind of similar questions, but also
how does it work?
How does it work for you guys?
I think it is really difficult now, because we are a huge business and people are applying on hundreds and hundreds of people on a daily basis. Even for job applications now, I think we get in the thousands for every single job that goes up. So I see a lot of CVs and I see a lot of applications that are just boring, and we don't want to see that. Like, do something that makes you stand out. Like, we've got a couple of examples from girls that have come in previously where, I mean, this is pretty extreme, but a girl made the Prettylittlething office as a doll's house. And we were like, oh my God, this is absolutely unreal. Like, we need to speak to this girl. And I feel like that maybe is a little bit of a out there example, but
did she get the job?
It got her noticed. I think she ended up with a job in buying, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to check. But that made her stand out from the crowd.
Completely.
And, you know, it was something different. It was something exciting. I think she brought it to HQ. So, of course, we're going to have a conversation. So my advice would be, don't send in a plain A4 piece of paper with lists of things that you've done, because it's just not really, it's not going to stand out from the crowd.
That's crazy. And for the modelling side, I know a lot of people want to model. It is like, I think even for my friends that are kind of in the modelling industry, their goal is Prettylittlething.
Yeah.
It's very, very big. And is there anything that you guys kind of look out for in the models?
I think, like, from a model perspective, again, like, obviously, we're a very inclusive brand, so we work with girls of all shapes, sizes, ethnicities. I think that's really, really important for us, and important for the message that we want to portray to our customers. But we are really good at kind of scouting up and coming talent. So yes, we do work with model agencies, but at the same time, we do a lot of open castings. We do a lot of scouring Instagram, looking for kind of up and coming talent that isn't signed.
There's been so many that I've kind of seen kind of growing, like Lily Rowland. I don't know if,
exactly.
Lily. Love Lily Rowland. And I remember when she kind of started off, and I went to an event with her and she was like, I really want to get into my modelling now. I do makeup. I really love modelling. I look at her now. She did like the PLT Valentine's recently.
Yeah,
and I was
she's
like,
unreal.
She has just smashed it. So you definitely say you also look at on the talent inside as well. Which I think is really nice, because I think sometimes with like these modelling agencies, it's definitely difficult for people to even be seen and pushed. So if you can kind of try yourself as well.
Exactly. And there's been occasions where we've worked with girls and we've actually booked them directly, and then they've ended up getting signed by big agencies.
Which
so I think that's a really nice story as well.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously we have to talk about Naomi Campbell, because this is massive.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you went out, was it New York?
We went to New York. Well, we went to LA to do the shoot in June, and then the show was in New York in September.
So I remember the girls at the PLT HQ was trying to like hint that there's going to be a really big edit coming out, but they couldn't tell me. So I'm going, Gigi Hadid. I know it is, because I love her. So I was just like, it's going to be Gigi Hadid. And then it was Naomi, and I was like, nah, that's even bigger. I was like, so how did this kind of come about? Because this is massive. Like this was...
It was,
massive.
It was a crazy moment. And it was something a bit different to us, you know. We're targeting a younger demographic, but I think with Naomi, she's an iconic model. She's iconic in the fashion space. And I think for us, particularly as we've been trying to break the US, we really wanted to align ourselves with someone that would step us up a level. And I think, well, she did that for us.
Definitely.
So Uma, again, our former CEO, he developed a personal relationship with her. I think they met at an event maybe. And they they just got on really well. They became good friends. And I think, you know, she was looking to engage with her younger audience, build her younger audience. And he was like, look, we want to do something that kind of elevates us as a brand. Like, this could be a really good fit here. So yeah, they started these conversations, and it was probably 18 months in the making before we actually really got down to business, designed the collection. She was very, very heavily involved in every element of the design of the collection.
I can imagine.
From shoulder pads to the way things kind of like sat from a cut perspective. So yeah, very involved in kind of the back and forth, lots and lots of meetings in lots of different countries.
I can imagine. Was you going to all of these meetings?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Kris, who is our head of design, he obviously kind of worked like on the detail with Naomi and kind of was the vision behind it all. But yeah, lots of meetings, a photo shoot in LA, and then finally the catwalk show in New York.
I mean, I remember seeing that video of like, I think it was a photo shoot, but like the casting of it or something.
Yes.
I remember watching this being like, this is giving supermodel.
It was something else.
And it was crazy. And like even the behind the scenes, because I was watching it all, I was like, this is so cool. The behind the scenes of like the show, that must have been stress.
Yeah, I
can imagine.
That week, so on all the previous shows that we've done before, we've always cast models like weeks in advance. So we've actually had a plan. I know we're very last minute, but we have had a plan on those things. And at New York Fashion Week, they cast the models the weekend before or the weekend of the show. So we literally flew out there and did the castings Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I think the show was on the Tuesday.
So you literally had
it was a full-on like 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. every single day.
It's like X Factor. Putting them all out, being like, that must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You really get down with every different piece of job. Which
Yeah. I think that's so important that obviously we've got hierarchy within the business because we have to run really big teams and we've got a lot to do in terms of strategy and moving the brand forward. But I think when it comes down to it, if Amy and I need to steam clothes, then we need to steam clothes and we'll do it.
Yeah, there's no need to kind of just section yourself off, which I really like. Also, Kourtney Kardashian.
Yes.
What was this? Can you give me a story time behind this? Because I'm really intrigued.
I mean, that was another experience. So Uma and I actually went to Kris Jenner's house to have that meeting.
You had a meeting with Kris.
Yeah. And you know the office that's on the show where she sit, like it's that where there's pictures of the girls like on the walls and like magazines.
Backtrack.
Yeah.
You've been in her house.
Yeah, and I was really, really hungover. We'd been out the night before. And I think we'd got in at like, I don't really know what I was thinking, to be honest. It was a few years ago. It was still in my fun, young era. Yeah, we'd been out and probably got in at like 4 or 5 a.m. And I remember Uma drove us over there and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be sick. I'm literally going to end up being sick in Kris Jenner's toilet.
I'd be sick if I just saw Kris Jenner. Like.
Yeah, but she was everything that you can imagine. Just as serious, boss woman, momager.
Oh my God. And how was Kourtney?
She was a dream. I think she's probably, in all honesty, been one of the easiest talent that we've ever worked with.
That is crazy.
On time, really involved, but really polite, really easy to deal with. She was fantastic.
Oh my God, the fact we're just talking about Kourtney.
I know, how
like,
wild.
You've actually, that's my dream. Have you met any of the other ones? Like Kardashians?
We've met Kylie. Some of them have met. So I didn't go on the shoot, but on the shoot, Kim came, and she's like my ultimate favourite. I wasn't there.
She is like the boss woman, the business queen. I feel like recently as well, like she's just upped her game with everything.
Yeah,
I'm a Kardashian lover.
Unreal.
And the other day, my nan come in, and I was watching. She was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Don't look it till you watch it." She sat there watching it after. I was like, "You fake woman, honestly." So obviously, You've met all of these amazing people, but I'm sure there's so many more that you can think of. Is there anyone in particular, or there could be like a group of people that you've really enjoyed working with and you'd say is your favourite that you've worked with?
I love working with Molly. I think like she's the heart and soul of PLT. You know, she's been with us for a long, long time, and you know she's grown up with the brand as well. So yeah, she's amazing.
Definitely.
I think in terms of like ultimate talent, like we'd love to do Rihanna, we'd love to do Beyonce.
Can you imagine?
We'll put it out there, we'll manifest it, maybe it'll happen.
It definitely will happen if you keep going. Honestly, I feel like there's so much with Prettylittlething, and everyone knows. Even my American family come over and they was like, we know that. I'm like, you're from like Texas.
Well, that's good to hear.
That is good to hear.
That means we're doing our jobs right.
So, okay, you're obviously a girl boss. You've met a girl boss as well, Kris Jenner.
Yes.
Well, a major boss. But could you give any advice to any young girls that are kind of wanting to be girl bosses? I think with now and like these kind of industries, it's so much more accessible to get into these kind of industries. But do you have any tips for people that kind of want to get into it?
I think
to be a girl boss.
Yeah, I think you need to work hard, like perseverance. Like it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Like I've literally been in this business for 9 years and I've worked day in, day out in order to get to where I am now. And I think I used to find it really stressful in the beginning. And as I've probably grown with like life experience and just doing various different tasks, like everything is, you can overcome things. Like I used to find that if we were given something that we hadn't experienced before, like it would really get on top of me, it would get me down. But you just got to persevere and realise that at the end of the day, like we're selling dresses, we're not saving lives, you know, we can do whatever we need to do to kind of make things happen and just continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to work hard and it'll happen.
Definitely. And I feel like where you are now, like you were saying, you started, where did you work? You just said on one of the videos, you worked at Specsavers.
Yeah.
And now look
that
at
was
you.
like my Saturday job.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you did that and then you obviously worked at competitors and now you're here. So it does take time and I feel like people can kind of get frustrated. And this is with like TikTok, this is with like any kind of job. Yeah. It doesn't come overnight. And honestly, the amount of girls that say to me like, oh, I tried TikTok and I gave up. And I'm like, how long was you doing it for? About a month?
Well, no. Yeah.
You can't get anywhere in a month. I feel like with these kind of jobs, any job, you have to persevere. And I feel like obviously you're a great example. I mean, you've smashed it completely. Yeah, even to just meet Kris Jenner, I just retire now. Do you know what? I'd just be like, Kris, you can fund me.
Yeah,
please.
I think the social media world also maybe paints this picture of like the grass is greener. Yeah. And it's not necessarily like, you know, it's not necessarily like that every day. Like things can appear fun, but there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes.
And I think a lot of things romanticised with business now.
Everyone's posting the best bits of their day, aren't they? The best bits of their life. And there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. And I think now, probably more than ever, people come into the business sort of expecting, you know, X amount of salary after a month, 6 months, and it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. No. Like you need to put the work in before you get rewarded.
Definitely, I definitely agree. Obviously, I'm not in that kind of industry, but with anything, I feel like people just need to start realising it takes time. Yeah, and that's quite a nice way to end this part. But is there anything that you can kind of expect for us to see on Prettylittlething that you can kind of give away?
I think we want to kind of bring the glam vibe back, and I think with everything that's coming in now around like the mob wife trend, like all that kind of stuff, like that feels really relevant in terms of like trends at the moment.
You guys are the best at getting things out when they're relevant.
Exactly.
Which is what I love, because sometimes I'm like, this bow trend, for example, this came in and it's kind of going out, but it's still in.
But we were fast. And you've got to move on it quickly. 3
days later, it was on Prettylittlething, like bow this, bow that. And it's really great how like you guys can just bring it up so quick.
Yeah, that's why we're so last minute on everything, because we're literally just changing things up every day. But then everyone
that purchases from Prettylittlething is like lastminute.com. Exactly. It's always next day. So we're actually going to play a game now, which is Pick a Nick.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening or watching, basically Pick a Nick is where we're going to give Nicki 3 different topics and she's going to tell us her pick and her ick. So her least favourite and her favourite, basically. So first of all, a fashion trend. Pick first.
I think mob wife.
Really? Okay, you're part of the mob wife.
That's got to be the number one trend at the moment. Big fur coat.
Bow. Yeah. I think the bows. Not too much though. I did go in the other day to Selfridges and someone was wearing like, not someone was wearing, it was on like a model, but it was like bowed, but like a blazer, and it was full of them, and I thought this is a bit too much.
Yeah.
Take it a step back.
A little subtle bow.
I do like a little bow at the moment. And I think one that I don't like the moment, I don't think there's many, you know.
I don't like belly pumps.
Oh, don't. I said this. Tennessee
I don't know. It's because I've got short legs. They just don't fit my vibe.
No, they're not a bit me either. I agree with that one. I think ballet pumps is a no-go for me. The next one is a celebrity pick.
Celebrity pick. My ultimate ever favourite, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah,
I feel like she's just the it girl. Yeah,
she is iconic. I love Sabrina, and I keep saying this every pod at the moment. I feel like everyone's bringing her up.
Talking about
she is going to be the next big thing.
Yeah,
I feel like she's already in there now. Yes, she's getting up there. But I think for me, someone that I love at the moment, Alex L.
Yeah, I know.
Please,
love Alex.
Can we just make her a PLT ambassador?
We're trying. I mean, put it out there for us because we'd absolutely love that.
Okay, cool, guys. Let's all go spam Alex L's comments.
I mean, If you could,
Please.
that would be really helpful. Thanks, guys.
Honestly, I love her so much. And on her podcast, have you watched it?
Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't promote another podcast, but I will for her. And I want her merch.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And I'd never buy merch now. I'm too old. But for her.
Yeah, she'd be a great one for us.
Definitely. And I feel like, obviously, Molly May's the iconic.
Yeah.
I've always loved Molly May, so I've got to say her. Okay, and then the final one is a makeup look.
Makeup look. I think for me at the moment, I quite like just strip back, natural, tinted moisturiser.
People are hating on this now, though, saying we need to get like full glam back.
Are they?
And I'm like, no, I keep the natural girl look. I love it.
Yeah, I do.
I think dewy skin, a little bit fake frex. It always just looks good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the same level. Right. So, an ick for makeup.
I think Russian lashes, when they're not on a done-up face, they really, really, really give me the ick.
When it's like full lash but no makeup, it just gives a little bit.
It just doesn't, it's not the right vibe.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I actually can't think of any. I feel like every ep I try to think of one. But at the moment, I feel like I'm just...
loving everything.
Yeah. Do you know one thing I don't like, though? Like, I do like, because I do it to myself, and when I get my makeup done, I always ask for it. It's like fluffy brows, but not to the extent where they're like...
ironed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when they like look like the wind has swept them up and they've stayed. Like when it gets to that level, I'm a little bit like, not really feeling it. But other than that, I do like fluffy brows, but not too much, in my opinion. So we're going to move on to listener questions.
Okay.
So I thought for this ep, we need to kind of get you guys involved as much as possible, because I know we all have a lot of opinions on fashion, and we also all want to know about your job. So, guys, if you do want to get involved, you can DM me at Ami Charlize Private Story on Instagram, and I basically go through, answer your questions, dilemmas, whatever you guys have. But for this one, we also wanted to know your kind of like, you know, quick fire round. What people are loving and hating in the moment. So I'm going to ask you, all you have to say is yes or no.
Okay.
If you like the trend or not.
Okay.
I'm going to get involved because I've never done this before and I'm really excited. But okay, first of all, we've got cheetah leopard print. Rate or hate?
Right.
Hate.
Hey.
Sorry. I feel bad. But no, sorry. My friend tried to make me get like these nails the other day that was like leopard print nails.
Oh no, I wouldn't be
and
into
I was
that.
like, no.
I don't mind like from like a dress sense perspective, like a little bit of it. Yeah, definitely not in a nail though.
I still don't like that.
Can't get into it.
I can't get into it. Sorry. Bows. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I was going to say, if she says no now, I'm going to be like,
You've just been saying you love it.
Yeah, okay, right, too. Jorts, like jean shorts.
Jean shorts.
For me, the long ones are a no-go.
They're a no-go.
They remind me of Adam Sandler a little bit.
No, I don't like those. I like a mini denim short.
A mini denim short I love. So I think it's a rate and a hate because I don't like long.
Mixed, yeah.
But I would never call like jean shorts that are short jorts. I'd call them denim shorts.
I've not even heard that term. Is that a new term?
You work for Prettylittlething.
I'm
offended.
It. Oh my God, maybe
jorts is, this is a big thing.
Right, okay. Need to get in with that.
Literally. Right, skinny jeans.
Hate.
I don't like them.
No.
I used to like them.
Yeah.
I had so many PLT skinny jeans, like black with like a little rip.
Not
but now
anymore.
I'm just a baggy jean girl. Long skirts.
Hate.
I agree. It gives me English teacher, but some people can really pull it off.
Yeah,
but
I
just
think
not
it
me.
depends on
the person.
Yeah.
I wish I could pull it off, but I tried it and it really didn't work. We've also got fake fur coats.
Right.
I like, but certain ones. There's sometimes I look at them and I'm a little bit like, I don't really like that. But at the moment, Prettylittlething, I'm not even just saying this because you're on here.
Good ones.
There are some really good ones.
Have.
Me and Naya Temple, we went to Paris the other day and I was like, you bring one, I bring one. We both come in with Prettylittlething ones.
You?
I had like a long grey one. She had like a little cropped one. The best ever.
Yeah, they are great.
They kept me warm as
and
well.
They're selling so well.
Everyone's
loving them.
I've seen so many people on TikTok wearing my one since and I'm like, I love
it.
this for you. And then flares.
Right.
I love flares.
Yeah.
I just think, they make, do you know what? They actually flatter as
well.
well.
They
I
are
feel like
flattering.
really
flattering.
Nice. On the edit, there are some flares, guys, so you can go purchase some brown flares. Baggy trousers.
Right.
I'm a rate too. And last but not least, headbands.
I feel like it was a rate, but then it's gone now. Has it not died off?
Oh, you're going to hate the stylist then that styled me the other day.
Have you got headbands on?
My edit.
Right, maybe I'm not down with the TikTok
kids. To be honest, no, I wasn't a headband girl at all. Even up until like October.
I've seen all your images though, and I don't even.
I was in quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it looked really nice with my outfits. I wore a black and white one.
Yeah, sporty stuff.
With the white out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but most of mine was kind of active wear this time.
Yeah, true.
So I think for what I was wearing, it really went. But I do think sometimes people need to put it up.
Yeah.
You know, when they can't touch your eyebrows,
here.
I'm like, come on.
Okay.
A bit too much. But we're going to go on some like listener questions now as well, because this was kind of you guys giving us, you know, your looks for 2024, and obviously we're still in the beginning of it, really. Yeah. So Ellie has asked, what are your wardrobe staples?
I think like lots of neutrals, like lots of like wide leg, black, cream, brown trousers that you can pair with anything. Same with tops, pink. Blazers. Do you?
All I wear is pink. So I think for me, like, I just think like jeans and a bodysuit.
Easy.
It's easy, nice, and you can look good. You can start with a varsity jacket, a blazer, and it'll look nice. So I think that's kind of like my wardrobe staples. But you have to have good shoes with that.
Yes.
If you don't suit the shoe, you shouldn't wear your outfit, in my opinion. A lot of people are actually worried about knowing what they want to do in the future with GCSEs, A-levels to pick. Do you have any like advice, like for you when you was younger? Did you kind of know what you wanted to do?
I didn't know.
So I don't think anyone knows. Though.
How are you supposed to know? I don't think you should know at 16 years old. Like, you can learn and grow and develop and change direction, like as you grow up. Really, I had no idea. I literally stumbled on working in a fashion company, and I did a marketing degree, so I always kind of knew I wanted to be in that space.
Oh, so you went to uni as well? What uni did you go to?
Lancaster University, which is a bit of a random choice because it's like a campus like out in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know how I ended up there. It's really, really random. And I don't think I actually learned anything during my degree that is relevant to what I do now. So it's weird to think back on that time and the fact that I did a marketing degree, because we didn't learn anything about social media, about online, anything. So I feel like going back, I'd maybe do something a little bit more relevant. But you don't know. You don't know what you're going to do at that time. I don't think you should really kind of don't put too much pressure on it. I feel like go with the subjects. If you want to go to college, if you want to go to uni, go with the subjects that you enjoy and then take it from there.
And that is all the questions for today. But please make sure to keep sending them in to Ami Charlize's Private Story on Instagram. And I literally love hearing from you guys. So thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. It's honestly been so fun. I think it's so interesting having someone completely different to who I've had on before. So I was really excited for this one. But I do have to actually ask you, what is your private story? Have you got anything?
I mean, it's kind of not a private story because people watch me do it, but I was doing this huge presentation once for like half the business. And usually when I've done something like that, I'm always like, oh, this went wrong and this went wrong and I messed up on that bit. And for once I actually thought, I've done a really good job here. And then I came off and I came off the stage, looked down at my trousers and I had my fly open the whole time. My knickers were out for everyone.
Oh my God.
How embarrassing. I mean, it's not very private because about 500 people saw it, but
for people listening, they've never, that is embarrassing for you.
And I'm still here, so.
She didn't lose her job.
I didn't lose my job.
Zuma's still there then?
Yes.
He kept you, so it's fine. We're here and she's slaying it now. So thank you so much for coming on. It's literally been a pleasure having you. And guys, make sure to go check out Prettylittlething if you haven't already, and you can go follow Nicki's journey as well. Guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Ami Charlize's Private Story. I've had so much fun. Please make sure you're subscribed now to us on YouTube, as well as following us on Spotify or your podcast app of choice, and make sure to like, comment and leave a review. And please get in touch now with your questions, stories and dilemmas over at Ami Charlize's Private Story on Instagram. I love hearing from you guys, but you can also follow me now on TikTok and Snapchat. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.